Hello, everybody. I'm super excited to be here today for this panel about navigating the changing landscape as a creative director. And I'm thrilled to be here with the experts. And thank you for having me moderate this panel. Quickly introducing myself. My name is Annette Felder. I have a fashion brand together with my twin sister called Felder Felder. We have physical fashion and create pieces made from biomaterials that we call e-couture. We're just starting to dip our toes into technological aspects, and that's why I'm super excited to be here with the experts to learn. So I give it away to Barish, Nate, and Riva to introduce themselves.
Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you all. It's great to be here. So I'm a creative director. I've been working in Asia, currently in Shanghai. So I've been involving with new technologies for decades, and now as AI is being a great tool and partner in my life. So I'm started sharing my experiences and knowledge that I'm encountering with AI and joining its conferences and panels and showcasing my works.
Wonderful. Nate, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
I think your microphone is breaking off, so I had to Riva and then come back to you, if that's okay. Riva, do you want to jump in?
I've got a feeling that Nate basically, instead of clicking on his video button, he clicked on his microphone button, which caused him to go off video. And yeah, but in any case, yeah, I'm happy to do a quick introduction. So hello to everybody. I'm Riva. I'm originally from Singapore, but I've been living out in Dubai, the UAE, for about 11 years right now. I spent about 15 years producing television shows and radio shows in Singapore and in some major cities in Asia. And that's what brought me to Dubai. And I've been working in advertising for about 7 years. Yeah, pretty interesting clients over here. I think one of the popular clients that you guys might be familiar with is Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world. Leading the content for the team. And currently, I still continue as a creative copywriter and content lead, and I do creative strategy for Web3 organizations.
Amazing, amazing. Let's check if Nate is back. Perfect. Nate, can you unmute yourself and introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think he did it again.
Okay. I think I may jump to the first question then and have Nate introduce himself once he gets back on stage. So the first question I have for you is, what are the potential challenges and ethical considerations when incorporating AI and emerging technology into creative work?
Do you want to go first, Barris?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a advertising background as well, right? I mean, I've been working with designers and coders, 3D artists, and I've been leading campaigns and stuff like that. What I'm seeing in this perspective, like as a creative director, is with AI tools now, it's like having a virtual talented designers and copywriters in your disposal, 24/7. And I think the potential of AI, for there are discussions going on, right? And a lot of people have objections, and but I'm standing on the other side because I believe that we need to embrace new things. The world is changing. All the creatives and designers, they should not be afraid of AI. They should implement as one of the greatest tools that ever been invented.
Wow.
And it's gonna help for everybody, and is for businesses, for creative people, for designers. it's I see as a more as a collaborator than competitor. And then people should not afraid of AI as well. I mean, they should afraid of the people who using the AI. So I really want, encourage everyone in the industry to get onto it, and then everybody will feel the benefits. And I think this is just the beginning, and it's changing so fast, is keep evolving, and the possibilities ahead is enormous. This is my personal view.
Amazing. What would you like to add to that, Riva? With a view on the potential challenges and ethical considerations.
Well, I think the thing with AI is it kind of eliminates a lot of cognitive biases. As human beings, that's kind of like the major difference, right? We tend to look at it as humans, which is like positive, and then it could be negative in certain aspects. But I think the ethical concerns, we see them rearing their head right now, which is stuff to do with intellectual property and ownership. So that's something I guess like people got to figure stuff out, and understanding what is really okay, what kind of content is okay to share. See, I'm not a designer, but having worked as closely with my design and creative team, I see a lot of my designers right now in agencies. Instead of waiting for the copywriter to fill the headline, they're okay like going into ChatGPT and coming up with the headline and sharing that as the first round to the client. And in any case, clients usually come back with feedback, so and then we will get the copywriter to work on something, and sometimes clients actually accept the copy that's written by AI. That kind of like creates, I guess, fear amongst content writers, because a lot of what content has to do with is the amount of knowledge that you possess. And so the AI definitely comes stronger, because you can't compete with AI when it comes to like knowledge and information and research. But I think where part of the stuff that Barriers was touching upon is we can actually definitely use AI as a friend, and to help out with the bulk of like the research work that has to be done. I think in a lot of ways, AI also allows to gives us a different perspective, an angle that we possibly haven't thought of. That's pretty powerful. It all comes down to like why you want to use something, and I think the winner over here is the person who is able to ask the better questions and put in the better prompts. So yeah.
Wow.
And sorry, and if I may, I think you might have to tilt your camera up a little bit, so that because right now it looks like a dentist advertisement. You got a perfect set of teeth, but just saying. All right,
Well,
yeah.
thank
Here
you
we
so
go.
much for letting me know. I could not see that in my camera. Well, thank you.
I should have
Is it
said that
better?
earlier. Sorry. Yeah.
Better? Okay,
And
great.
AI would have said that earlier, saying that you're not informed. So pardon me,
Oh,
being human.
thanks, Viva. Well, I think that left you left that perfectly to hand it over to Nate when you mentioned the person who wins is the one who has the best prompts, because I know that's Nate's speciality. So I hope we can hear you now. But Nate, should I repeat the question for you quickly?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay,
Thank you.
the question was, what are the potential challenges and ethical considerations when incorporating AI and emerging technology into creative work?
I think many, and I think that was a great point of asking good questions.
Yeah.
I think the first thing that I like to tell people is that AI is not a magic box. You don't press a button and something happens. You don't say, hey, like, give me this, and it gives you the exact same thing. This is still a very developing field. So it always requires an input. And the better the input is going to be, the better the outcome is going to be. And it is not autonomous. It doesn't make decisions. You are the one who makes decisions. So that's why I think people who have strong background in whatever creative field or whatever field they are using the AI in, and to be honest, like AI is touching everything, like every aspect of our lives is being transformed and disrupted in this moment by AI. So the more knowledge and perspective you have, the better the input you give, the better the output is going to be. And this goes into ethics as well. If your input is going to be ethical, then the output will be ethical as well. So it is, I think it is a lot more about humans than we think. I think we focus so much on like, oh yeah, this is an amazing technology. Like, what can it do? Like, it can, write copy, it can make images, make videos, like it can organize, it can do all of these things. But honestly, I think we should maybe think more of like, what do we humans do with it? Because we are the users. Like I said, it's not an autonomous thing. It needs an input. So that's how I like to think about ethics with this. With this is adopt a human-centric approach. Think of how will you use this to affect another person's life. Will you use it to harm someone, or will you use it to enhance their lives or support them? So yeah, that is how I like to think about it.
I love.
I agree. I agree totally with Nech on this. Like, I mean, the amount, AI working with a lot of data, right? And we have in our disposal have data. We have our experiences, we have knowledge. So the more knowledge we have in our disposal, the more understanding we have. Of course, is involve also creativity and talent, but this is will directly affect the input, directly affect the output that you are having from the AI. So the more input, more various experiences you have in your life, what the working in different fields and all these are giving you a lot of, in a way, that power, full way of or good way of using the AI tools, and you come up with something interesting. As long as you are interesting in your idea, as long as you're interesting with your inputs and looking at the things from different perspectives, is all influence the output, right? And not just about the knowledge, but also taste is the, yeah, so important. We are giving the creative direction, and we are the one doing selection, we are the one guiding as well. So it's both way of communicating, like with your creative partner in the office is like, sometimes I feel like that when I'm working with AI. And what is amazing, that is the speed and outcomes, and sometimes it's so much surprising and inspiring you as well. And and the quality of the outcome, even you don't even get from your teams. This doesn't mean that, oh, okay, we don't need designers and we don't need all these things anymore. No, no, no. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying, that I think everybody need to be better. I mean, if AI doing better job than my designer in the office, then I'm sorry, I need to hire a better designer, right? So I don't want to be harsh, but this is the truth. And when it comes to ethical things, like when people ask me sometimes question like, AI is evil or angel, I say no. I mean, like Nedge also a little bit touch on that, right? It's human. We are the evil or we are the angel. I mean, it's not just AI. Is look at the Photoshop, look at the social media content that has been creating so many, fake news and all these things before AI as well. People using Photoshop to do nasty things, and some people using Photoshop to do beautiful things, right? Same for the AI. You cannot blame the AI. All we need to blame the humans. How we using it, right? What purpose we are using it. We want to add some beauty, some poetry, something to the enhanced life of others, or give something, pretty, or we want to do some ugly stuff. I mean, for anything, not just AI, for anything in life that we do, it is just like that, right? Is all comes to human.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
And
I love
Just yeah, sorry, Nick, you want to go first?
um, go ahead. I'll listen.
Yeah, I kind of resonate with a lot of stuff that Barry was saying, because
Yeah.
obviously we come from an advertising background as well. So I think there's a lot of focus when it comes to creators using AI. It's a double-edged sword. So you can't say a sword is really bad. It's used for good things and bad things. I think a lot of focus is really on like Midjourney and Dolly and ChatGPT to come up with content. But there's like some absolutely wonderful tools that creatives actually overlook, which is like using it for doing like uh, mind mapping, for example, or coming up with like great content, but also having the partnership of AI to understand which is the best way and time to schedule it, and using AI to actually develop your ideas. coming up with mood boards used to be very time consuming and it's very research intensive. You can actually use AI, and that like cuts down a lot of time. When it again comes to copywriters, again, research, for you, copywriters are like, I come from a copywriting background, and if you work in an advertising industry today, you need to be a medical expert. Tomorrow, you need to be a cryptocurrency expert, and that means that's the amount of information you need to be able to tell the story. And clients are not going to be like, oh my God, you got this medical term wrong. I'm like, yeah, well, so, but AI is there to really help you. So I guess, these are some of the stuff that can come in really useful.
That's amazing.
I would touch on two things from all of this great discussion. I love it. I think all of what we talk about is we give the input to AI, and it really depends on us. But the thing about AI is it's extremely disruptive. It's a huge amplifier. Like, it is so powerful. So whatever you put in, it's going to be magnified like 100,000 folds, which before might not have been possible, So that's why I think is really good to think about what you put in and what you use it for. And what Barish said, that he would go with a better designer, I think that's a very reality shaking statement for a lot of people. And I think it is very true. A lot of people will be touched by this, like a lot of people will be displeased by this. But again, I think this is happening. Like, if you don't adapt to things, you are kind of left behind. That is how it has been for a while. I think still, if we go further on the human-centric approach and go into ethics a bit further, I do think there is a big opportunity because of the magnitude of output that AI allows us and the abundance it creates. I think it is very possible to create some sort of compensation for people who are affected by it, because we do know this is coming. Like, I can see it coming, like, quickly. Like, people will lose their jobs, people will lose their ability to earn money, and I think we can prepare for that if we just like loop it into the conversation with governments and companies and all of everyone who is participating.
I think that brings me straight to the next question. I'm just a bit conscious about time, which is the rapid changement, and that is, how can creators stay relevant and adapt to the changing landscape in the face of rapid technological advancements?
For me, I think it is no different than it has been ever in history. New technology comes, some people see opportunities, some people are paralyzed by fear. As Barish said, I think there is no need to fear the AI. AI is not here to damage you. AI just exists. It's a new technology, and you can adapt to it. You can learn how to use it. You can learn how to implement it into your creative work. And as I said, it's not autonomous at the moment. So the way for me, how I like to do it, is you have your existing process and you just upgrade this. You don't reinvent anything. You don't have to say, oh, everything I know is gone. I can't exist anymore. No, you still have all of your knowledge. Now you just like put some new things in, like in some places, and evolve that process.
Yeah, that's obviously exactly what you're doing. You are helping creators to adapt to this new advancement. So that's amazing for anybody who is new to this world like myself. It's exciting to see people sharing their knowledge. So thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I love sharing people. It's a human-centric approach. We are all together in this, and I think that's how we move forward.
Yeah.
Somehow, whenever there is a new technological advancement, the creative people, you have to understand, are very emotional people. And the moment that there is something that comes up saying that, oh, we're gonna there is this new technology out there, which might be, locking heads with you, and it's between a battle between you and I, and then the creative people are going to be like, hey, you don't stand a chance against me, okay, I'm better than you, and all that stuff emotionally. I mean, this is how much we love our work, this is how much we are passionate about. But when I remember when Grammarly came out, right? Like Grammarly was just an app which checks your spelling. There were a lot of people who were like, "Oh, we don't need copywriters anymore. Now I can just, kind of like check my spelling with Grammarly." I mean, has that happened now? No, you still need copywriters because it's not just about spell check function. It's not just about coming up with synonyms. There's so much more than that. I mean, somebody has to define the tone of voice. Somebody has to give the creative flair. Somebody has to understand metaphors. Somebody has to understand the creative landscape. And I think even with AI, with any job, it comes to people who are lifelong learners. And specifically in the creative industry, you got to be a passion for like what's happening, what's next, how can I use this to my advantage? And also people who have to understand that as humans, we will always be evolving. I mean, imagine like hundreds of thousands of years ago, I'm sure that there was one guy who stood next to the guy who invented fire and said, damn you, you invented fire. What am I going to do now? I was making raw food and sushi all the time, and nobody's going to eat that anymore. So there's always going to be that argument. But yeah, we, technological advancements will never stop.
Yeah. And just to like jump on this a bit, like I said, like AI at the moment, as magical as it seems, it really isn't. Like it is not as smart as some people think. Like ChatGPT hallucinates often. Like Midjourney gives random stuff back often. So until we get like an AGI, like artificial general intelligence, which would basically mean it can execute tasks across different fields, these really are just tools, and they are new tools. And if you are gonna evolve, you will learn a new tool, you will learn a new skill. For example, prompt engineering is a new skill, Midjourney is a new tool, ChatGPT is a new tool, and it's more about you just add new skills and new tools to your like tool belt.
Parish, would you like to add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, they said well. They covered almost everything. It's this continuous learning that comes with the curiosity and passion. I mean, you have to always stay ahead of the curve. It's not just with AI. It's been like this. It's in. She was giving example good in advertising, right? When digital started, like a lot of people step away, but I was going on digital and new technologies, how you can use new mediums, new technologies. So it's all about like you have to learn, you have to continuously stay updated with the trends, with the technological advancements. But then you have to be curious, you have to be passionate, you have to love what you do. And other thing is that experimentation and adaptability is also very important. We have to be adaptable, we have to be open-minded for the new techniques, for the new ways. And another thing that I like to add, when we're talking about experimentation, adaptability, like with any other tool, right? In any other, like even like painting, like classical painting, or thinking about Da Vinci, practice, 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 practice. I mean, as as Nate said, it's not a magic tool. Yes, I am talented, I am good in certain things. Yes, I'm creative, but no practice, no learning, you're not gonna be shine. This it's continuous practice obsessively. That's the the how you can make best use of these tools.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's a great insight, and I think that brings us also to the next question about over reliance on AI, and if there is any. But are there any concerns about the over reliance on AI and emerging tech in the creative process? And how can creators strike a balance between human creativity and technological assistance?
I think there is a very big hole that you can fall in with AI. It is so strong, and it gives you like so personalized dopamine. Like our brains have been very modified with technology, even with social media. Like our dopaminergic nerves are different than they were 10 years ago. Like when we scroll, we get those dopamine hits, we want them, the brain wants it. And AI is like one level above that. It gives you exactly what you want. It doesn't just give you something, it gives you exactly what you want, because you type in something. I'm can give like Midjourney, for example. You have like a vision of like, oh my god, I want to see a castle, like a fantasy castle. boom, you have it. Like few seconds, you have it, and then you just go further. Okay, next character, next landscape, next story, next world, and you can keep going. You can keep going, and I feel like you can quickly fall into a hole, and that's why I think like just mindfulness of kind of realizing, okay, maybe enough of this for today. Come back a bit, and then kind of level up, level out with your rational mind. So I do think it's easy to just get absorbed in the whole process of creating with AI. So yeah, it's good to keep it in mind.
That's great advice. Yeah. Barish or Riva, would you like to add anything to this?
I mean, I guess, but when it comes to like maybe over reliance and actually probably, talking about like balance of using AI and your creative team, um, the leadership really matters. I think defining like borders and boundaries really matter. When you look at like collaboration between AI and humans, right? Then you kind of like really clearly define the areas and you find a way for it's just. I mean, maybe it's quite interesting, but treat AI like another team member. Everyone's got their own set of jobs, and collaboration is really important. So maybe we all can find a common ground, and maybe the AIs would love us for that, and they'll give us a better future. I don't know. I'm just not going to sci-fi mode right now, but yeah, just allowing humans to maintain the sense of control and they use AI for certain tasks. So I guess that's where that will come in. Leadership that really understand the potential of technology and understands advancements, understand the developing landscape is really important. We can't rely on people with who kind of like are living in the well anymore. There needs to be someone who is able to evaluate the impact and implications of AI and drive their creative team accordingly.
Yeah, I think that touches on what Nate was saying as well, that there needs to be sort of an outline and, some sort of leadership or guide to manage yourself or your team when using these new technologies. That makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. And Barish, would you like to add anything to that as well?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see overuse of it. I mean, they did very good points. I see is a collaborator, right? Is a great collaborator. Is a team member. Is another tool, and it's fast, and it's helping everybody in the company or in the teams. It's just you know, as mentioned earlier just now, that leadership is important and how you utilize it and how you see it and how you can, insert this into the existing structure and make everything is more efficient, and eliminating those, like it's taking like mood board makings and conceptual things, presentation pitch decks that taking so much time of the designers. Now they can able to more focus on creative aspects, and AI taking all these things, is yeah, I see is this way.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, you all are running teams and implementing those new technologies and AI to work within your teams. So that's really interesting to hear how that works within your team when going through a creative process. And obviously, it is human creativity and technological advancement working together within your team. So that's really interesting to hear. The next question I have is, what opportunities do AI and emerging technologies present for creators in terms of reaching new audiences and expanding their artistic impact? Who would like to go first? Maybe Riva, because I saw you have some impact focus as well on within your in your work.
Sorry, I mean, your voice isn't very clear right now, but yeah, I could you
Should I
repeat
repeat
that?
the question? Should I repeat the
No, I
question?
heard your question.
Okay.
Okay,
Would
I'll
you?
go first. No
Okay.
worries. Yeah. So I think when we talk about like opportunities, pretty much I think we covered a lot of these points in our
Yeah.
the earlier questions as well when we were discussing, right? There's a great opportunity to co-create. There's a great opportunity to collaborate. There's an opportunity to bring people together and actually see things from a different perspective. At the end of the day, we are humans. We don't have a 360 view of everything. We can't, right? We can only absorb that much of information. So understanding that, understanding our limitations, and actually being okay with asking for help, I think that's a big like psychological and bottom belief that asking for help makes us weak is there inherent in a lot of humans. Maybe this is a great opportunity to break out of that and actually accept AI as our partner. With we can also use AI specifically, not just think of AI as a creator tool, but also an analyzing tool and understanding our target audiences, and not just creating and crafting content but scheduling that as well, and dispersing content to our audience. I think this is a great part about, not just about creating and crafting stuff, but about communicating, and that's where AI can really be our partners. So we don't have to worry about people stepping over our creative boundaries, but really look at a co-creation effort.
Amazing. I'd love to hear your insights on that as well, Barish, because obviously you are reaching a wide audience of people, and to hear if you are using AI already to navigate reaching a certain kind of audience.
Yeah, I agree with Riwa what she said. Total, I agree. I mean, what I can add is that also when I will give an example again from my industry, right? I mean, we were planners and strategists was struggling or standing against, but AI is helping a lot. It's not just, yes, crafting the strategy, coming up, helping on the planning stages when you're working on the campaign. Is I'm not a planner, I'm not a strategist, but then yeah, I sometimes doing things with ChatGTP, and then that people are happy in the office and my teams are happy. Why? Because I'm taking some of the tasks as well and bringing on the table in the meetings. You're making things more efficient. So AI is very also analytical tool, is good in storytelling as well, right? I mean, it's not that it's writing the story, but you're writing a story, you're writing an idea, or you are working, let's say, on a branding project, and you need to come up with the brand strategy, you need to come up with the brand slogan, brand name. And then when you start discussing with ChatGTP, it's like you're discussing with your creative partner or branding consultant in the office, or if you have a brand that you're discussing like that. And it doesn't mean that okay, whatever ChatGTP giving us, we are using it. No, we are filtering, we are analyzing, we are editing, but it gives us a lot of opportunity, a lot of benefits that when we're doing our jobs.
Yeah. Nate?
Yeah, I agree about the wide range of uses that you described. And what I would point out is what the main thing that AI brings is speed and scale of output. You will work much, much faster and you will create much, much more. And I would say analyze your process, whatever it is, creative process, strategic process, make it into like parts and steps. Look which software you can use for each of these steps and just start testing and experimenting. And on the other hand, I would say be very, very, very open. Like AI is smart, like it is intelligent, and it is more intelligent than we are in many areas. So if you approach it with like, oh, I am open to a new idea, to a new perspective, you will find so much out of it. And ask right questions, like Riva said at the beginning. I think these would kind of be my summary. Yeah.
That's amazing. I think we have gathered a lot of great, valuable information from all of you, and there's just a few questions in the Q&A, and I think it's more towards the accuracy of information that AI gives. I think that was probably more for you, Riva. When you said that, researching on medical issues, for example. So if we can touch base on that. And then, if you can just let people know where they can find you and leave any final comments, ideas, then I think we can wrap it up.
Do we have time right now to answer the questions, or do you want to take it forward later?
I think if we answer that question now and then wrap it up, because I feel like we're at the end of the session.
Yeah, sure. Very quickly, right? Charlene, thank you so much. Charlene Nichols asked that question. How can you assure AI is accurate in subjects like health? I mean, really, honestly, I think that it's not just us. I think with any collaborative and co-creative work, the client plays a really big role as well. As I said, we are not experts in healthcare. Like the creative team can never be an expert on healthcare unless I used to be an ex-doctor or a surgeon or something like that. I don't think any surgeons became copywriters, but there's advantage on putting in clear data, the development and the training, as well as getting the experts on board. That's the only way, I believe. But even with ChatGPT, there's with any AI, at least for now, there's always going to be like how do I say, a cut-off timeline on how accurate it is. So like the current experts, and that's where the human value comes into play, is what I feel.
Amazing. Do you have anything to add to that?
I would say just be critical. Just you don't turn your mind off when you use AI, because still it is very fresh, it's developing, and a lot of the times it's just inaccurate. It just doesn't provide accurate information. So even though it might sound very convincing because it is designed in a way to predict what it should say, and it makes you feel, oh yeah, it knows what it's saying. So just be critical, think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess fact checking is important, no matter which resources
Yeah,
you're using.
but treat AI like your parent, right? I mean, yeah, I'm sure they have your good interest at heart, but you can't trust everything that they say. Gotta double check.
Very good.
Oh yes,
Very good. Very good.
it's true.
Yes.
Absolutely, that would my daughter would agree with you for sure. Wonderful. Well, I mean, thank you so much for all your wonderful insights, and for LuXuré Lab for organizing this and having me. Do you want to tell people where they can find you and follow you and learn more from you, or go onto this journey together with you?
I'm just going to plug in my LinkedIn on the chat here.
That's a great idea.
If people want to follow me.
Okay, let me do that too.
Yeah, I can do LinkedIn as well, but my favorite thing I'm doing at the moment is the newsletter, where I share how to use AI. So if you want to learn or read how to use AI, there is a link for you as well.
That's amazing.
Rewa
Or this is-
Ananda, I'm very happy to meet you as well. We should speak further later. Rewa, can you?
Yeah, I'm always excited to see like another creative, and super excited that you're in advertising, and you as well, Nick. Like it was such a pleasure meeting you. We all should keep in touch, stay connected.
100%. 100%.
Congratulations to all your great work.